Many towers have been recently reworked, so in this video, I want to tell you all about some towers that desperately need a rework and how to fix them. Now, if you're watching any devs, don't be shy to add these, you can thank me later. Also, stick to the end for a controversial rework. First up, we got Paintballer. Paintballer has never really been a good tower, but it does not deserve this treatment. Bad damage, mid splash, mid or bad everything. Now, this seems like an unrepairable situation, so I wouldn't try fixing any of its stats. Instead, here's what I would do. So, IRL paintball guns, they don't shoot slow. So, first, I would change base stats. I would halve the fire rate, change the base damage to 1, and change the price to 600. I would change the range to 9 and keep the explosion. Damage 2. Now it's time for the upgrades, and I'm not going to cover it all, so if you want to see the complete stats, just pause the video. Alright, that's all you get. Second, we have Medic. Now this tower was planned to get a rework, but never got it for some reason. In all honesty, this tower is still pretty good now. It just needs some changes and a fresh coat of paint. Firstly, I think we should improve the damage. I'm not completely sure how, but right now Medic is only used purely for its ability. And even then, people don't need it that much. This is kind of going off the Rework idea, but I think a cool mechanic would be that it could grant stun protection to a couple of towers that would make them immune for like 2 rounds. This could be controversial, but I think we should decrease the starting price and decrease the starter upgrades. The starter upgrades wouldn't do that much, but I like the idea that Medic would become a very good support tower the more you upgrade it. And all of these towers should get a new fit too, by the way. That's just a little thing I'm putting here. Thirdly, we have mid-shot. Not gonna lie to you, this tower sucks. So many major enemies in this game cannot be stunned or barely stunned, so that's already a big problem for this tower. Another big problem is that both freezing towers got reworked, so the freezing effect is like 10 times better anyway. Oh yeah, also warding exists, which in my opinion is just better. Another problem is the fact that you need to use a slot for this piece of shit tower. Okay, I got a bit carried away, but how do we fix it? They already tried. In March 2023, they actually changed the stats. It did not help it. I know this is supposed to be a rework video, but unless they can stun bosses a bit, this tower will never be good. One change I think that they should make is that in level 5, every third hit stuns bosses temporarily, but the slowdown mechanic is decreased to 15 or 20%. I couldn't make up my mind. But yeah, unless the devs change the actual enemies or just rework the entire tower, I don't see hope for it. The turret is an interesting case. It used to be very good and was known as a boss shredder, but it hasn't seen a lot of usage recently. I think this is because there are just so many better damagers that it's just not worth it for the 50 million kilos of cash you have to pay to max it. I don't think it needs a complete rework, though, so some changes would do the trick. Firstly, I think that we should decrease the price for some of these upgrades, but honestly, I think the starting price is fair. I would increase the DPS of turret overall, as it could be a good boss shredder and return to its original glory. Decrease the range, and hear me out on this one, but don't give it hidden. I get why it has hidden, but hear this logic out, it doesn't have eyes or goggles, so it should not have hidden. Now it's time for the controversial one, farm. Okay, look, I can already see the comments, but hear me out. Farm has pretty much been dominating the economy game ever since Cowboy got nerfed 2 to 3 years ago. Even though Cowboy still gets buffed, it's pretty reasonable to say that in almost any scenario, people would rather use farm. It has not been fundamentally changed ever since it first came out, and I think that it could use a change as well. How will we do it? Well, first, I think it should be like balloons where you have to do something to farm. Maybe something as little as just planting the seeds so they could be grown each round, or make it exactly like balloons by just having it so you have to pick the money up to make it. Secondly, I think that the money you get from farming should be decreased per round. Not by too much, but just a little bit. Overall, I just think farm should be changed / nerfed, so there are other options for economies Or maybe they can introduce a new economy tower through this, which would be interesting. Well, that's 5 towers that I think need a rework and how to improve them. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I don't usually set like goals, but if this video gets 20 likes, I will make a part 2 with some event towers I did not include. Thanks for watching.